Dude. Okay, so I've been riding the bus for like the last, how long have I been here? Year and a half, 2 years or so, and I had only just now figured out that there's a way for me to take the bus to the store. So I'm like, it's always been like a huge thing that when I get off work, not only do I have to stress about actually getting to the bus, because if the bus is on time, it'll actually pass right by my job right at 4, which is obviously when I get out the doors. So I wouldn't be able to catch the bus because I'm walking right out the doors, right? But it's usually late, so sometimes most of the time I'm able to catch it then, but then whenever I have to go to the store, which is often because I'm big and I eat a lot, so it's like a weekly occurrence that I'll have to like walk all the way down to one of the stores. And every once in a while there used to be cases where I would miss the initial bus stop, and then I would have to walk like, it would be like what, like a 40-50 minute walk or something like that. I have long legs, so I'm still able to catch the bus to at least get home afterwards. But it would always be like a thing. Like if I knew I had to go to the store, it would always stress me out because it'd be like, okay, well now I have to make sure I can catch this first bus, and if I don't, I'll have to walk 45 minutes, and then I'll have to like speed run to the store to find everything that I want, and then, you know what I mean, and then, I'm able to get the bus home afterwards pretty comfortably. But it would just always be something that would weigh on my mind because it's unavoidable. Like I have to go to the store like pretty much every week or so. So it's like it'll just always be kind of a thing to stress about at the start of a week, right? So it took me like 15 minutes. I actually looked at the routes, and apparently I actually can find a way to. There's actually 2 separate buses that will take me literally pretty much like right to the front of the stores. So you know what I mean? Like me walking everywhere, it's like, it's healthy for me, but it's also just been kind of like a stressor just because it's been kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, it just sucks that if I get off work, it's just kind of like another thing, you know what I mean? Just like I said in my last video, just me being in the supervisor role now, it's just really important for me to try to get rid of all those little stressors and stuff that have been adding up and everything. So it's like before, when I was just inspection, like me taking my little 40-minute walk after work is like not so bad. It gives me time to unpack, but nowadays it's just too much for me. So so I don't know. It's just really nice that I should pretty much never have to walk, because that's always been a thing. It's always been a thing, is that it's like eventually I would have to, like, there'd be a day where I would miss the initial bus when I get out of work, and I'd be like, well, guess I'm gonna have to walk 40 minutes to the bus stop, and then sometimes I'll have to walk 45 minutes to go to the store, you know what I mean? And then if I can't get picked up when I get down to my place, then that can be another 30-minute walk afterwards, where I'm sometimes lugging groceries in a state where it rains like pretty much 24/7, so you can just, you can kind of grasp from that how that could be kind of, a little frustrating to deal with after a while. So I don't know. It just took me like 10 minutes of just looking up the routes, because it's kind of intimidating. It's kind of intimidating to try to like look up the buses and stuff. Like I was helping my sister look through this stuff, and I was getting a little frustrated because I'm just like, because it's very annoying, because sometimes they'll come late, and then you also don't know if Google actually like updates everything. So it's just, it's intimidating to ride new buses and stuff like that. But I'm really happy that I can get to the store and get all the things that I need. And I probably should never have to like walk all the way there, because the one route that I'm taking is like, one of them could drop me off at 4:15, but the bus that I'm taking, I'm keeping it vague so I don't like dox myself, but the bus that I'm taking from work, if that one happens to be late, there's another bus at the station that I can take that'll drop me off at like 4:30, which is kind of getting a little close for comfort. But I have long legs, and I usually always know what I want and where to get it, because the stores here are like not very big, so you know what I mean. Like they don't change their selections very often, so it's pretty easy to kind of just get everything that I need and go. Like I can definitely get everything as long as I'm ready by like 5 o'clock or so. It's fine. So, that's plenty of time. So I'm just I'm just really really elated by that because I was telling myself I was gonna do that over the weekend, but I was just like, you know what? Like that really should only take me a couple minutes. Let me just do that now. So like this whole thing that has been stressing me out, where I've just been like fucking slaving myself over having to walk for 45 minutes to get to the damn Walmart. I don't have to do that anymore. So like if worst comes to worst, like I do still have to catch this initial bus to get to the store comfortably. Otherwise, I would have to like walk to the store, walk all the way to the store because the other bus that would normally take me to the station, it would like drop me off like super duper close to 5 o'clock. So basically just if I miss this initial bus that swings by my job, then I would still have to walk all the way down to the store if I was planning on going that day. But that doesn't happen often. Like I think it's literally maybe like once every 2 weeks or something that I'll miss the bus that's drives by my job. So yeah, so it's just, I don't know. I'm just really happy about that because it's just nice to know that I have not only do I not have to walk to the store, but I also have like a backup bus that I can take to get there too. So if I'm early, there's one bus I can take, and then if I'm like if it's a normal time that I get down to the station, then there's a bus that can get me to the store like at a decently comfortable time, and it drops me off right to the front, literally. So it's just been nice. Not having to do that. So yeah. What time is it? Yep, it's Monday. So yeah, I am feeling, my throat hurts. I am sick, I am cold, and I am tired, and it's Monday. But I think it'll be okay. I mean, I don't know what today will hold, but I think it should be pretty manageable. Yeah, and I actually did have something I wanted to bring to talk about this time too, other than the bus thing. Just, gosh. I wonder if it's going to record that, the notification. Just, I would like to get into it more in depth, but just, I feel like my mental health's been declining. Like just, not in like a big bombastic way, but just in like a lot of tiny ways. And just that I'm just kind of, when I take a step back and really just like assess how I generally have been feeling for these last couple of months. And even before I even took up this role at this job, to be honest, like I think this job definitely is stressing me the fuck out more than I think it is. But also like, I feel like I was kind of feeling this way even before that. And just, I think it's very upsetting that most of my days I'm like stressed at work, so much so that I have like a headache pretty much like all day. And then I get home and then I'm like anxious because there's a lot of things I have to do. And I don't have a whole lot of time to myself. So, you know what I mean? So it's like, not like it's unpleasant at home, but it doesn't feel like a full like reset, you know what I mean? And then on my days off, I'm like angry. Just, I'll probably get into it later, but just, I'm kind of a needy dude. And, when people aren't around when I would like them to be, which obviously, I'm trying to work on not being so clingy and stuff, but it's just, if I'm not meeting my needs, then it can definitely start to be kind of, I don't know, just, I don't want to be all woe is me, but it just, it's just, I work my little tailbone off during the week, dude. And so it's just, when even my days off, I'm not like feeling like, you know what I mean? Like super good. It's just kind of like, what am I doing? Like it's just, like I'm stressed at work. I'm angry at home. And then I just kind of like oscillate between those two states, like it's just like, and sometimes when I'm home, I'm like not even just angry, but just like very much definitely not feeling good. Like I tend to try to play with my little brother every Sunday and stuff like that. And so I've been trying to hold myself more accountable just by just trying to be like, you know what, Evie, even if you're not feeling good today, just do the thing, like it's a weird motivation, but just lately I've been just kind of thinking to myself, like, if I got ran over by a bus tomorrow, what would be my regrets? And my regrets would be if I kept like saying like, oh, I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. I'm not going to say my brother's name, but sorry, little bro. But I just don't feel good today, so maybe we can play next week or something. You know what I mean? Like, I would definitely, that would be something that would kind of hang in my heart if I kept doing that. So I've been just trying to be like, you know what? Like, even if I'm not feeling the greatest, just do the thing, just like do the thing that's like in alignment with my values, even if my emotions aren't really feeling up to that, So I've been trying to hold myself accountable to that, but I'm also just realizing how often I'm like ready to use that excuse. So that's telling also that it's just like I feel like not unwell in the sense that I'm like sick, or I have a flu or anything like that, but just unwell in just like the head. Like I'm just feeling like mentally like exhausted and mentally just not like good enough for it, to play with him for like 30 minutes. You know what I mean? So it's telling. So you know what I mean? I'm still trying to figure out how to deal with it. I just maybe I'll go into it in another video. I probably will. I don't know. Maybe somebody will need to hear it. But I just, I definitely have a lot of bad habits that I still kind of have been slipping into lately that just kind of really make it difficult for me to, it feels good short term, but then like really like fucks my head up in the long term. And it's just been really, really tough to just not keep sinking back into that thing. Because I'm kind of still in, like lately, like not even recently, but just honestly, like since I moved out of the homeless shelter, I've been kind of like in this loop of just kind of like I'm at the stage where like I've done enough of the work that I know why I get triggered and why I have these bad habits and what they do for me, and I recognize even when they're repeating, but then it still repeats. So it's like the like self-eating snake or some shit where I'm just like I know it's bad for me and I can recognize that like I'm still doing it and I know why I'm still doing it, but then I do it anyway. It's really, really tough to break out of that mold, and I think I will. I definitely will, but it's rough, So it's interesting to say, but in this supervisor role, which is probably taking a bigger bite out of me than I'm like than I'm than I think it is. My motivation lately and one of my biggest goals is just to care less. Like seriously, like put in like 70% when I'm here, take lots of breaks. Like seriously, my only goal here at this current moment is just to save money and to just improve my communication with my team. That is all I care about. Like seriously, like I really don't care about management's expectations of me that much. Like, I don't want to get fired, but I'm also just like, I really seriously do not care because I already like me thinking about this job so often, like when I'm sleeping or when I go home from work is already like a big red flag for me because I'm just, you know what I mean? Like over the weekend, I wasn't really thinking about work, to be honest. But so it's like not like I don't think it's the stress is building so much that I just can't stop ruminating on my job and stuff like that. But it definitely is something that takes up a significant portion of just like my oh shit, yeah, it's almost time to go, of my energy, so and you'll probably see me talk about this a lot. I've never been in a leadership role, so it's definitely new and it's definitely something that's always on my mind. So, so it makes sense that I would bring it up so often. But I feel okay. I'm feeling a little sick. My throat kind of hurts. I'm still freezing my ass off, but it's already like a good week because I'm like I found a way to get to the store without having to fucking run a marathon. I got some prints coming. I've got some prints from Turan Fiddler that's going to be coming this weekend, so I'm really excited for those. It's pay week, so I'm, you know what I mean, just all the little things. Another thing I'm gonna try to work on is just not rewarding myself with rest. Like I kind of need to rest because it's kind of this. I gotta find a balance of just like doing something that's fun for me, but also resting, but also motivating myself to like work on my project because I did not do that this last weekend, and it's just time flies, dude. So it's just like I'm glad I can record this video. This is kind of like a nice little substitute and a kind of a way for me to kind of be a little creative and put something out there, without stressing about, mathematics and, coding shit and stuff. But I also know what I really want to do creatively and like what's really going to kind of satisfy that creative spark for me, and it's definitely video game making. So I just want to make sure I'm just, even at this job, I still find the time to do that. So that's why I'm saying like everything seriously has to go right on my days off for me to have the energy to work on my game nowadays. It takes a lot. So, every day is a new day, like, what I mean? You never know. Like, it's just like one day could be the last time I fall into a bad habit, right? So it's just, and then I think I have the tools to do so. So I just got to work on it. Yeah, it's about time for me to go too. So, yeah.